You're fine. Okay, looks like everybody's ready, and we'll go ahead and start so you can go in.
We going.
So we'll go in, there's going to be a lot of stuff kind of walking down these hills. There's going to be these Kagooties, those like the little two-legged bipod things, and there's going to be these robots called arquebuses. The typical thing is we just run all the way past them, alright? And the tank will kind of taunt things as running by, so that'll be kind of the job of Spider and National. And then when we get up top here, we're going to hide behind a mushroom, and that really helps them all stack up, okay? But mainly we're just going to run past them and ignore them, but let the tanks go first. And I'll run kind of with the tanks so you guys know where the mushroom is. Alright?
On you, Cleo.
Oh, the mushroom hiding technique.
Pulling in 3, 2, 1.
I know it well.
So we're just going to keep running past all of this stuff.
I'm too quick.
At the split, we go on the right side. And then right on top of this hill to the left, there's going to be two things you need to taunt. Thanks. Two Kagooties. Alright. We just keep running.
I'm too quick now.
And then right up here is where all the arquebuses come in. They charge up and do a channeled attack, but the tanks are going to taunt them, and they're going to hide behind this mushroom over here, where I'm at, with the crowns
the one
at.
on the right.
Yep. And we just stand back here and wait for them all to come in, because they're going to follow the tanks. Yep, and now we just attack them all. If you see one of them channeling, you can either bash them.
Oh shit. See?
And there's going to be a second round of these arquebuses. So essentially the tanks are going to run out, all the DPS can kind of stay behind the mushroom. And the tanks are going to run out, taunt them, and then run behind the mushroom. This is a line of sight taunt. So since they're a ranged enemy, if they can't see you when you hide behind the mushroom, they all kind of run around the corner to try to find you, and when they try to find you, they'll stack. Yep, so just run back here, perfect, and just hide behind the mushroom. See how all the robots kind of came in and stacked? Perfect. So when these things charge up, they shoot a little AoE on the ground that's like a little lightning circle, and you just got to try to avoid staying in it, but if we bash them, they won't do that. Alright, so now we're going to run again, and we're going to do the same thing. On tanks.
I'll take the right side.
Perfect. So we're just going to keep running past all these guys. And there's a mushroom down at the bottom right that we'll hide behind.
Champion points into the
There's 3 arquebuses here. Alright, and we're going to hide behind the mushroom that the crown's at.
Oh, I got back.
And see how they're all stacked together now? And now you can come out and fight them. The reason all the DPS go and hide behind the mushroom too is sometimes if like a taunt is lost because it's a very long pull, they may not be taunted onto the tanks anymore. So if us hiding behind there, just kind of make sure that they come in. Alright, we can all drop straight down, but don't run forward. Alright. So the kind of similar concept here is there's 3 of these arquebuses. Alright, right there. I'm kind of marking them. It doesn't really matter which ones you guys grab, but the tanks will grab all 3 of them, and like I said, however they figure it out. And you're going to hide, if you look behind the one with the green circle, there's a series of 2 pipes kind of in the left. You can actually taunt them all and then jump behind that pipe, and then they won't really be able to see you, and they'll all go kind of stack on the left near the pipe.
Okay. I'll get the square.
Sounds good.
Alright, on tanks. Once you get behind the pipe, you'll see they all start to see how they're all pulling in.
Except the one that I taunted.
Well, yeah.
He doesn't want to move.
Sometimes it's difficult. All right, and now we are at the first boss. So we can hop down, but make sure you do not attack one of the little robot dinosaurs, chickens, whatever you want to call them.
Together around the locus.
All right. So this is the first boss. It's called Positrix and Negatrix, and they're called the Hunter Killers. Essentially, it's two different little robots, and as you see, when they get close to each other, there's a beam that connects them. When they are close and the beam connects them, that makes them considerably strong. All right. There's two ways you can kind of do this trial. Okay, there's a really kind of slow traditional manner. All right, where everyone kind of goes and stands right there in the center, and then these little robots come on these circles around us. See if you see those circles around the room. And then each of those robots will have a shield, and you have to drag the robots around and break the shield with that laser beam. So that's what the kind of the purpose of that laser beam is. But that's kind of the older way that most people do that. Most newer groups, what they'll do is they'll have everybody stack kind of right here while I'm jumping. And we can all just stack right here in a square. Perfect. And what we're going to do is we're going to have one tank, so it'll be national. You're going to hold the first one right here, okay, in front of us, and we're going to kill it. While Spider holds the other one over there by that right portal, okay.
Okay.
And then when we kill this first one, you're going to bring the second one in, and then national is going to taunt it off you. If it was on veteran, you have to have a lot more kind of DPS to do this, but on normal, we should be able to do it kind of regardless, and it kind of will train.
This looks like the way that they were starting to teach it to us at the end of last year.
Exactly, and the reason I wanted to go with this one is this is what you will see in majority of trials, okay? The big problem with doing this is you have to kill things quickly, because the more of those little circle people that kind of pop up, they shoot something at you called venom injection, and it's like a little arrow of venom that puts an AoE on the ground, and the main thing is the healers have to purge that venom there, alright? So both the healers if they can run purge, that's always very helpful. The other thing that those little circle arquebuses will come up, they look like the ones we fought earlier, is they'll also do something at you called taking aim, where they essentially shoot like an arrow or a bolt at you. And if you have like combat alerts, you're going to see like a little bar which tells you when it gets towards the end where you see the line, you need to roll. All right. Typically, if you don't roll the taking aim on veteran, it'll one-shot you. I think on normal, it'll just do a lot of damage. So it's always good just to practice though on normal, because there's really not much difference on normal and veteran from like the mechanics. It's everything will just punish you more on veteran. So it's always good to use these normal trials to kind of practice what we're going to do on veteran and kind of ingrain the right things. So you're going to stay in this square, all right? And we're just going to parse our hearts out onto the first one, the one on the left, and then we're going to fight the one on the right when the other one kind of dies. The healers are going to heal their hearts out and use purge every like 4 or 5 skills. To kind of keep us clean from the poison, and then if you're a DPS, if you get a taking aim on you, you just gotta kind of roll and then get back into the stack. Okay. The last thing for the tank from national, so when you're holding the dragon, you can kind of hold him where I'm standing, right? And they're gonna drop an AOE eventually, and then you turn them here. They're gonna drop another AOE, and then you kind of go here, and then eventually they'll drop a third AOE. But by the time that third AOE drops, the first one will be gone, and you can just roll over here and then turn around. And you just keep repeating that over and over. But I think we'll actually probably kill them pretty quick. I know that's a lot of information though. Any questions?
I'm good.
All right. Not hearing any questions, we'll go ahead. So you'll, like I said, National, you'll taunt the one on the left, and then Spider, you can actually, if you want, you can actually walk all the way over here right now and just stand here.
Damn,
You don't actually, and you're gonna taunt that one.
Not a sponsor.
And when we kill that one, you essentially just come over here to the group and you just kind of do it off tank stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, just bring buffs and all that. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Other than that, since there's no questions, on tanks.
Can you count it down,
Are you
Cleo?
ready?
Yep.
3, 2, 1.
Perfect. Good job. So we're going to focus on the first one. Interrupt. Make sure you keep your block up, if not the dino will try to eat you like that. And if we see it eating you, then we have to interrupt him. Alright, and you can bring the other one in, Spider. Alright, and now you can taunt it off. Spider, natural. We do the same thing again. And you can see these robots are starting to stack up, okay? And every once in a while, one will charge.
Shit.
Excellent.
A surge in the rift. On your guard.
Okay.
The automata are reacting to it. Shut them down.
Got him. Now for the harder part.
Alright, Spider and Cleo. There's 2 arquebuses and 2 Kagutis. These are really just kind of some trash before the next boss. So the big thing is we just taunt them and kind of hold them in the middle. The arquebuses will not kind of chase you unless you over-exaggerate the pulls. So if you taunt, what we do typically here is we do a cross taunt.
Okay.
So Spider, you'll hit the one on the left, and then you're going to run essentially to that right circle. All right, and that will drag him approximately in the middle. And Cleo, you're going to taunt the one on the right that has a square, and you're going to run to the left circle. And then once you see them in the center, you can just kind of bring them back to the center. The little Kagutis are going to chase whoever taunts them. Either one of you can taunt both of them, or each of you can grab one. It doesn't really matter. But we're going to pretty much ignore them because, like I said, they'll chase after you. The big goal is to get the little arquebuses in the center.
Okay.
And then after this, after we kill this stuff, everybody needs to run back here because the next boss will drop in 15 seconds, and we don't want to early pull it. All right. On
Count
takes.
us down, Cleo? Yeah.
3, 2, 1.
See how they're running towards the center?
Yep.
Perfect. All right, and now you can run in because now they're stacked. That is a perfect stack. That's actually better than I did in most of our recent core.
Interesting. These devices
All right, we're gonna run back.
themselves.
So this is the second boss. This is called the Pinnacle Factotum.
A big one. Prepare for the worst. There. Something's coming through. Another fabricant.
So the big Pinnacle Factotum is a big, tall robot. And so Cleo, you're going to grab that. And you can actually run, if you run around the edges, you can actually start the pull from this side. Over here. And essentially, you're just going to taunt and then kind of stand where a little bit further forward from like the little octagon, right around the edge of the octagon. And pretty much hold the boss right there in the center the whole time. Spider, your job is to grab either the spinner or the steamer. That's the 2 side robots that are going to come up throughout this fight.
Okay.
And kind of bring it close to the group so we can cleave it down, but not necessarily on the group or on the tank because it's really hard to see.
Right. Okay.
Let me ask one real quick question. Alright, and so you're going to hold them close there. The steamer, guys, will put out kind of an AoE cone on both sides of the steamer, and it kind of goes from left and right, and then kind of forward and back, and it kind of rotates. And our goal is just to try to stand out of it the best we can. Anytime you have an AoE like that, it's always best to stand kind of at the edge, because then you can kind of sidestep back and forth between the things. But we have really good healers, so honestly, if you get hit by it, it shouldn't be too bad. The spinner is more annoying. So Spider, the best thing you can do there is kind of range taunt it and then just kind of drag it around the room the best you can.
Got it.
Because it will just keep spinning over and over, and if you just don't want to drag the spinning thing through the boss.
The group or the boss. Got it.
Yeah. And I will apologize a little bit. I'm not super familiar with all of the normal mechanics versus the veteran ones.
Yeah. Okay.
So I will apologize. But normally, I think there's a tank mechanic that we'll see if it happens on this. Cleo, that I'll just kind of cover. At one point, the boss will kind of split into 4 phases, and it will materialize. It essentially will be like transparent, and it materializes one in each direction. Okay, and the biggest thing is you just need to be looking at the boss that becomes solid. If you don't look at it, then it shoots a little cone of damage in the direction that you miss. It won't be the end of the world, but it will like knock everybody down and do damage. So if you see the boss kind of teleport and you'll go to like a knee, and then you'll be able to stand up, and then it'll kind of come back into being solid. Just look at the solid one in whatever order it goes in the 4 directions. Does that make sense?
I think so.
If it does it, and like I said, if we have to do a couple pulls, if it messes up, it's not a big deal. You know, it's all about learning and everything. But honestly, I cannot recall if it does it on normal, so I apologize.
Okay, sounds good.
Other than that, we're gonna practice the mechanics here just because it's good to learn. So we need 4 DPS volunteers to go north, east, west, and south for the portal mechanics. Any volunteers? All right. Yeah, ghost. That's a better way to surround it. Thanks, man.
Just X in chat if you want to volunteer. Otherwise, you're going to get
Alright.
appointed.
Yeah, that's fine. Sneasel east, Noob is south, and I'll explain what these mean. I need at least one more, because I'm not above voluntolding somebody else. And Joseph. All right.
Try it out.
You'll be west. Okay. And Snack, you want to go? Snack can be north. Okay. So when I say north, if you look at where our main tank, Cleo, is standing, there's a portal up there. That's the north portal, okay? And then the east portal is this one over here. The south portal is down here, and then the west portal is over there. All right. At one point, the boss is going to essentially open these portals for people to go up above. If you look kind of straight up, you'll see there's a raised platform above us. All right. And if I can, I'm gonna try to do this without
Fire.
pulling the boss. But if you look, no, I can't. It won't shoot that high. But if you look kind of, there it goes, up towards the right, you can see there's a hole above each portal. So when those portals activate and you run on top of here, it's going to raise you high in the sky and up there. Once you get up top, all the portal people are going to run north, okay? Everybody runs north. And you're going to run over to the north, and you're going to stay there. And then there should be a little robot that pops up that you can all attack. So you're going to attack that robot, and then from there, after that robot's dead, you're going to run to the to this one. You're going to attack it and kill it till it's dead. Then you're going to run to the south one, attack it till it's dead, and then run to the west one and attack it till it's dead. Once all 4 robots are dead, you're going to run back to where you started, okay? And there's a button you need to press, all right? And somebody needs to be the leader to count them out, which is hard. I know I'm push to talk, but is anyone willing to do that?
No, nobody.
All right, no volunteers. That's fine. So what we'll do is I'll just count it out for you guys after a few seconds after we kill the robots up top. Okay. And essentially, you all 4 of you have to press the button roughly at the same time. Okay. And we may, see how DPS goes, we may try to slow DPS to get those people that are going upstairs an opportunity to do this mechanic, because it's really important to learn. Okay. Other than that, that is the highlights of this fight. Occasionally there might be what we call a little conduit or like a harpoon that pops up. If that pops up, we'll call out to focus it. Just make sure you focus it. If we don't kill it in about 10 seconds or so, then it will explode and kind of do additional damage. Yeah.
Good to know.
Mad Mod and Ren just gave 2 really important tips because they do the portals in our groups most of the times. They're mechanic experts. Yeah, so when you go up there, make sure that you don't fall through the hole. It does not close, so you can fall to your death. And then it is E, not X. It's kind of a strange thing there. All right.
And what happens if the people upstairs don't kill those? Do we wipe, or is it?
So,
it's absolutely vital for us to do this.
It is absolutely vital, yes. So realistically, on normal, we probably could do enough damage to the boss that we could kill it, and it would not matter. But we want to try to give them an opportunity to do the mechanic at least once or twice, and then if we need to, we'll just kind of push the boss. But yeah, ultimately, if you don't kill him, what happens is the boss will teleport in the center, kind of raise his staff, and then start shooting like, I don't know if it's rockets or lightning beams. Something comes from the sky and drops AoEs on everybody and kills them all instantly. So it definitely is a time thing for the mechanic.
Quick question for me. Am I taunting both of the big NPCs that come up?
If there's two up, you taunt them both. Okay. Essentially, the main tank handles just the pinnacle factotum that's in the front.
Yeah.
Yep, and you get everything
else.
Yep.
Perfect. Okay.
All right. Cleo, on you.
3, 2, 1.
Yeah, Ren, we don't need to push. All right, so everyone just going to come stand behind the robot here in a nice stack. That makes it easy on our healers, and it helps us do the most damage. Alright, now everyone's going to turn and kind of focus the steamer. If you're range, you don't even have to move. There you go, the steamer's down. Alright, that's the ghost phase right there, Cleo. So look at the one. Oh, that's okay. I'll get Cleo up.
I got boss.
Portals.
Stand on those levitation signals. I'll see you momentarily.
So that's the portal. Everyone go to your portal. Northeast, south, and west, all go to portal. If you're on the bottom.
Back, Leo.
And Cleo, I'm sorry, make sure you block it if they're in that ghost phase.
Oh.
Other than that, if you're downstairs, try to stand out of the AoE.
Into this unstable energy.
Alright, let's get a res. Focus on the spinner if you're downstairs.
Oh, I forgot to put my heal on.
Focus on the spinner if you're downstairs. Alright. Alright, everybody go back to your starting point. Go back to your starting point and get ready to press your button. The buttons are right here. Here's where the buttons are, right next to the front. Press your button in 3, 2, 1, press. Alright, perfect. So snag the buttons are right here. Oh. Okay.
Don't know what happened
So when
there.
you press the button, we need to go back down the holes, and we just were a little bit slow. That's my fault.
Is it conduit up?
Bruh. Alright, what's happening here?
Focus the, looks like a steamer. There you go. Alright, perfect. Yeah, Joseph, it happens.
I read the warning so many times and I still it wasn't my synergy button.
Now, my old friend.
Okay, so I know that that is the second boss. Great job, everyone.
No. That's what happened on yesterday.
All the
too.
fabrication's kind of a fun trial because it goes from like boss fight to boss fight to boss fight. So we are already at the third boss we're gonna fight. Okay. So everyone just come stand right here in the center, right where I'm standing. I can explain the ghost phase more if you need it later, Cleo. So I know it's a lot to absorb, but you did really well.
I figured it out once I saw it for the first time.
It's sometimes it's hard to explain, but once you see it, you're like, oh, okay. It's really hard if the off tank stacks a bunch of stuff on you while you're trying to do it too. So Spider did a great job by keeping that stuff off you. Okay, so this is the Arch Custodian. It's the third boss. It's going to be a giant robot spider, but before we can kill the giant robot spider, we have to destroy a bunch of small little spiders. All right. For anyone who's using like boss setups or trash setups, you always want to kind of run your boss setup on this because most of the time when we get in combat here, we won't be able to switch out of combat. If you don't have one, a trash setup, that's fine, but just for people general knowledge. But what we happen to do here is we're going to run past all these little spiders, and the one tank is going to taunt everything that they possibly can. All right, and the other tank spider, you're going to run to the right and do the exact same thing. Okay.
Okay.
Now, when you get to the other side spider, you're going to see the giant spider hanging on the wall. It's okay, you can run right past it. It's not going to aggro on you or anything. So just keep running past it until you get to our stack. Alright?
Will do.
Everybody else, just make sure you just keep running. The healer should just keep healing. And we'll go from there. Oh, somebody pulled. So let's just keep running. We're just going to run past all this stuff. Just keep going. And the tank's going to taunt all this stuff. So these spinning blades, if you can avoid them, it's best. You can also roll under them if you need to. But they don't do a ton of damage. We're running past all the little spiders. And kind of like we were doing earlier, is we're trying to find a spot we can stand and let them all come to us. And so we're going to stand right here where Crown is. If you stand in the middle, the blades don't actually hit you at all. And all the spiders are going to come from either direction and stack up. And we're just going to sit here and destroy them all. It's kind of fun. You can see a lot of really high damage numbers because it's all little stacked spiders. And then Spider brought all the spiders from the other side.
All of them.
Alright. It looks like all the spiders are dead. So you guys can just stand here for a second while I kind of explain stuff. So when the fight starts, we're going to kind of run over here and stand in here. And at some point, we're going to be standing in the blades. And so the healers are going to kind of keep us alive. But it just kind of is what it is. Right here, there's 2 pylons, alright? They go across. You might be able to see them. So the spider that's going to be walking at us has a really big shield on him, and the only way to be able to do damage is to take the shield off, alright? And the way you take the shield down is there's a button right here, these shock pylons, and we need 1 volunteer to be our button presser. Does anyone want to be the button presser? Just say X in chat. Thanks, Sneasel. Alright, cool. So, Sneasel's going to be our button presser, so they're going to kind of be hanging out over here, and when essentially the giant spider starts to walk, when it gets about here, he's going to press the button, and then a lightning beam is going to go between these 2 pylons, which will immobilize the spider and drop its shield. At that point, we're going to do as much damage as we can. The shield stays down for about 15 or 20 seconds or so, and then the spider eventually gets up and starts to walk. At that point, 2 enemies spawn right here and right here. Spider. So your job is to grab those 2 and then run all the way back here to the next pylon area and kind of hold them back here. Alright, these 2 adds do a lot of cleave damage, so you want to make them sure they're facing away from everybody at all the times, and DPS don't stand near the tank or they'll do damage to you. So always on the back side of those, or if you have range, I'll say a few steps back. But you're going to stay. Then all the DPS are going to run to this spot right here. Alright, and we're going to wait for the spider to get immobilized again. And then Sneasel will run over here, be on the Rex button, and be waiting. For some reason, if we're not ready for it, and we say, hey, skip, that means everyone just keeps running, and we skip one, and just go to the next one. This fight is really pretty easy to do as far as damage, as long as you don't overpress it, because every time you press one of those shock pylons, we're going to get 2 little enemies. So mainly we want to make sure those enemies are always dead before we immobilize the next spider, because we don't want them stacking up. They actually are more dangerous than the spider itself. If one of those adds that you mistaunt get hit by the shield of the big spider, then the little ad will get a shield as well, okay? So it's really important for us to kill them and keep them away, the little ads away from the big spider. Other than that, that's practically it. You don't even have to really do much, Cleo, as far as taunting. Once you go over here and taunt it, it's going to start walking, and it'll keep walking until the fight's done. It's always good though for you to continue to taunt if you can, because your taunt will debuff the enemy though.
No,
other than that, that's pretty much it. So Cleo, you're gonna start the pull by coming over here and taunting the big spider.
Not a sponsor.
So you can just like attack it. You don't even have to actually use a taunt if you want to, and it'll start walking towards us.
Okay. 3, 2, 1.
Yep. Alright, it's walking. So then all the DPS are going to come stack over here. And the healer's going to put down some heals. And we'll all kind of be protected. And then drop your ultimates whenever the shield is gone. Alright, you can start dotting up the enemy if you have any dots. And you press the button, Sneasel. And there's the hit. Now we just do as much damage as we can. And in a few seconds, the spider's going to get up if we don't end up killing it. We're definitely going to kill it. Yep.
Oh. No little ads.
No little ads. Hey, we like no little ads. But in general, they would pop up right here.
Yeah.
The only thing...
I've been hit by one of those as a healer. They do hurt.
Yeah, they will 100% one-shot you. Alright. so now we go this way, and on our way to the next. I absolutely hate this part. Alright, Cleo, and this next part is all about you guys stacking things appropriately, so I'll try to cover it. We can all just stand, like, here. Just
We're
don't
gonna
run.
loot afterwards, I take it?
It's up to you. However you guys do it.
Normally with the normal ones, we just loot along the way.
Yeah, if you want to loot along the way, you can. So you see right now, Cleo and Spider, 2 of them are melee, and then 1 of them is ranged. Typically, the off tank grabs the ranged one, and the main tank will grab the melee. So the melee ones I'll mark. So they're marked right there.
Okay.
So you're gonna grab them, and then if you look where the ranged one, the ranged one's the square. If you look over there, there's like a little indention on the side of those vents. If you taunt them and then run into that indention, they'll all kind of drag towards that side and get stacked. And then all the DPS, we're gonna go stand right in the center where that triangle guy is right now. And that way we don't get hit by the blades. And the tanks are gonna hold everything essentially to the side, and then we'll just be able to shoot them in the back. Alright, on tanks. Just give them a second to grab everything. Alright, now we're gonna go right in the center.
Shit.
See how that drags them over there? And if you go into the corner too, yep, Spider. Everything, yep, perfect. Alright. And we do the
Before
same
we
thing.
move on, if you guys want to come back and
Oh,
loot
yeah, sorry.
the chest and heavy sack that's by the door here,
Yeah.
follow Spider.
Yes, yes. Spider's gonna keep us on track because I'll loot stuff so you guys can have whatever you get.
Awesome.
Oh, you can have this rubidite leather gloves.
Oh, that's exciting. So rare.
I've gotten those before.
Although Rin will probably be disappointed in me. This I don't have any bag space. I don't buy bag space on my characters, so I can't hold it. She makes fun of me because I'm cheap. All right, so yeah, I am. All right, so we're gonna go over here to this next area, and we're gonna do the exact same thing. We're gonna stand in the center here.
Bruh.
So the tanks are gonna do the same things. The main tank Cleo is going to grab the 2 melee ads, which are the 2 ones that are marked, and then the 2 ranged ones will be spiders. And you're going to grab them, and you're going to run over here into that corner.
Okay.
Alright, on tanks. And we just stand in the middle.
3, 2, 1.
Perfect.
Bruh. Look out.
Excellent. Alright, so this pool here, there's one giant guy, and as we hurt the giant guy down to about 30 or 40%, he's going to spawn a bunch of those arquebuses. So we're going to focus the big guy, then the arquebuses will come out, we'll kill the arquebuses, and then we'll move down to the next area, which is essentially a rinse and repeat. The only big difference on the downstairs one is there's also a couple of calefactors that you can grab, Spider.
Okay.
Should be like 3 of them.
Okay.
Alright. On tanks.
3, 2, 1.
If you're taking this on that Spider, some groups will have you light attack that for a while to build ulti.
Okay.
Man, maybe they don't even spawn on normal. Alright. And there's the 3 calefactors. You can just grab them and face them away from the group. And then there should be a big robot person, Cleo, that you're going to grab. just run over there to the mound. Perfect, just like you guys are. Now just stack all of them together.
Go, stand
There
right
you
on
go.
the
Now we have
tank.
arquebuses.
That's a good idea.
So now, once they're done, you can grab with them all the arquebuses, Spider and Cleo, just taunt them, and then run down here.
Okay.
Run down to where Crown is.
I'm low.
And everybody else can run down here too. Just run down. So DPS, you'll stack over here, and tanks you'll stack in the corner, right over here. And this kind of makes the tanks do that line of sight pull. And as you see, they're all coming down. The reason we don't want to stand with them DPS is because they're going to shoot those little, those things right there, little draining shots. And we don't ideally want them to be where we're standing. And you can see how it all made them kind of stack close to each other and be near each other. Alright. Perfect. Alright, and this is everybody's favorite bosses, I think, in pretty much the game. For most tanks, it's on veteran. It's like a rite of passage. It's called the triplets, and I'll explain a little bit of what we do. But what we need is the tanks and the healers to be in two separate groups. So one healer over here. Let's do Mad Mod. We'll do on the right, and we'll do Spider on the right, and then Babu and Cleo on the left. And as far as DPS, it really doesn't matter as long as there's 4 on each side. So we just need 2 more DPS on the left. Perfect. Alright, so these are your assigned sides, okay? And just kind of remember that. Alright, so this is the triplets. It's because there's 3 robots, okay? One is called the Reducer, one is called the Reactor, and then one is called the Reclaimer. Alright? And ultimately, you need to kill them all relatively at the same speed. If you have enough damage, you can just hold them all in the center and burn them, which we can definitely do. But it really wouldn't teach you the mechanics, and when you try to go to veteran, it's hard to translate that. Okay, so what is typical is you kind of bring them all into the center, and you do enough damage until they kneel down one time. Okay, and then when they kneel down, they're going to be kind of invincible for a period of time, and then when they stand up, you can do damage to them again. And you need to do this in phases. The phases happen at 1%, 70%, 40%, and 20%. And essentially, you're gonna pull a boss out to each side. So you're gonna have a boss here, and then a boss right here, and you're gonna kind of burn them evenly. And then once we get them down close to the threshold, that, like I said, that 70 threshold at first, we're gonna bring them into the center and kind of stack them with the centered person. All right, if you bring them into the center and all 3 of their health is not the same level where they will kneel down and do the mechanic where they kneel down and connect each other, then they'll get enraged, do a lot of damage, and likely kill all the tanks. And then once the tanks die, we all die. All right, so it's really important that we bring them in and out at the right times. Like I said, particularly on the vet level, but we're going to practice it here on the normal. All right, so listen to the callouts. So the DPS, you're going to be essentially right here, and the DPS will never switch sides. All right, so just know that if you're on the right side, you'll be on the right side the whole time. But we'll essentially we'll say, hey, go out, and when you're out, you're over here fighting. All right, you're fighting the robot. And then we say, hey, all DPS focus center. You're going to go focus the triangle person. Because remember, when we have the enemy out here to the side, the one in the center is not going to be taking any damage, okay? So we'll have to make a purposeful effort to run to the middle at some point and focus the one in the middle.
2
all right?
instead of 4.
So you may hear me throughout the trial. We say, hey, right group, go to the center. Left group, go to the center. Or like everybody go to the center, and just kind of listen to those callouts. If we say everyone go to the center, tanks don't bring your person in, we'll call that separately. We'll say, hey, tanks bring them in, all right, when they're ready. The other thing is typically there's a take swap mechanic that's called, let me look in the raid notifier. It's like overloading something, but if you have, I think it is raid notifier. It is called overpowering aura. Yep, so if you go into raid notifier, if you have that add-on, there's an overpowering aura, which will give you a countdown. But essentially, you have 10 seconds to switch bosses. All right. And so one tank will be over here, and the other tank will be over here. And a lot of times you'll wait for the tank mechanic, and there's 2 different ways you can do it. Okay. you can just taunt the boss and have them walk across, which is totally fine. Or if you want, you can taunt and you can run across as well. It's whatever you're really most comfortable for. It really actually doesn't matter. The biggest thing is that you need to cross taunt each other's boss, all right? And specifically, that's the reducer and the reactor. If you don't, when it hits 10 seconds after you have that overpowering aura, the boss does significantly more damage to you, and likely the person dies. So the best thing to do is when that debuff comes on, you look over there, you range taunt, and then you switch real quick. Okay?
So taunt and then swap, but we probably won't see that. I'm
Not
guessing.
sure on the
Maybe.
I'm not
counter
sure.
log.
We'll have to see, but we're gonna purposely try to take the fight a little bit slower than we probably could, just so we can
Got it.
get as many mechanics.
Awesome.
The only other mechanics that do happen occasionally for the DPS is at some point there's going to be little robots that climb out of the ground and then run towards the center person, the reclaimer. If those robots get to the center, then they run out and explode and blow up people, okay? And so a lot of times it's damage the robot, and then as the little robots get up, focus adds, damage the robot, focus adds, okay? And it's that back and forth, back and forth. Alright. That is practically the whole fight. I know it sounds like a lot, but hopefully we'll see some of the mechanics, and you can take my very long explanation and kind of see the visualization of it. So the most common thing, typically, just for Cleo and Spider's knowledge, is a lot of groups will have you cross taunt and stack it right there on the triangle. On normal, honestly, we'll probably just kill them too quickly, so we're going to not do that today, and just taunt the one that's straight in front of you and bring it over to your side on purpose, okay?
Okay.
Other than that, on tanks. Yeah, there are grabby hands. Sometimes there's big AoEs. There are big AoEs that grab you here. If you have the slippery CP, it'll automatically break you out. If not, you can just use the block and break out. It's really kind of annoying. But they typically stun you, and then you can get hit by like the boss or an AoE. So just try to stay out of the little grabby hand AoEs. It's really particularly annoying for the tanks. Because the bosses do a heavy attack called Clash that you can either roll dodge or block, but it's better to roll dodge it. But if that stuns you and then the Clash hits you, a lot of times it'll kill you.
Okay.
Okay, on tanks.
3, 2, 1.
Alright. So we're going to damage them to each side to roughly 70 or so %.
Sorry.
No, you're fine. And Cleo, you can bring it back here if you can. Just stand like right about. Yep, perfect, right about there. And we will stand on the back side of the robot. Perfect. All right. All right. Now everyone go attack the one in the middle. Everyone attack the one in the middle. So we leave the tanks out there with their boss. All right. Now the ads are up. Focus the ads. You'll see the robots kind of walking towards the center. And the tanks can start to bring in the bosses. And when they bring the bosses in, you'll see that they get stunned by getting all three connected. Or, yep, there we go. And now we run back out, and we're going to bring them separate again. Alright, when they stand up, you just bring them back out. Perfect. And I don't know if it does a tank swap on regular, but let's practice that. So let's do a tank swap if we can. Alright, DPS focus the ads.
You know when you're ready.
Alright, just swap them real quick.
Are we swapping sides?
Yep, you can swap sides in the boss, yep. So see how the beam is going to the one in the center? So that's one thing you want to do is make sure you hold them back here further so that they don't get empowered like that. So if you just come back to this area where we're standing, and it will drag them away from that so it's not powered. Perfect, just like that. Alright, everyone to the center one and burn the center. So the center one right now has 50% health, so we need to get them all around 40. So now they're below 40, we can bring them in. And when they bring in, you'll see they'll kneel down. Alright, perfect. And then everybody go back to your side. And we're going to bring them back apart.
Oh. Got grabby hands.
Yeah, the grabby hands are super annoying. Alright. And let's do a tank swap, just to practice that.
3, 2, 1.
Alright. Perfect. Alright, everybody to the center. Everybody to the center. Focus the ads.
Okay.
Focus the ads, everybody. And then tanks bring them in whenever you're ready. And then they should kneel down. Perfect. And now we can just drop ultimates and burn them.
Never that connection! Are you trying to do this the hard way?
Alright.
Are you listening, construct? Query denied. Creator not found.
So that is the exact way the fight essentially is done in most groups on veteran, even the veteran hard mode. The only exception, Spider and Cleo, is like if you have really high DPS, like the stuff they do in TTTs, they may just stack them all in the center and just try to kill them. But you need to have like really high DPS because if you don't kill them in like 30 seconds, they'll enrage and kill everybody.
Yeah.
But mostly that's what you do on vet. The only difference is, like I said, that mechanic will give you like a 10-second countdown to swap, and if you don't do it in 10 seconds, one of the tanks typically dies. But no, that was... And for DPS, that is pretty much exactly how it goes on either normal or vet. Alright, so we have a little bit of ads left, and then we have one final boss. So over here to the, I don't think there's any. I don't know if there's anything
Mad
in
likes
there.
to get the lockpick.
There's the single lockpick. Yes, yes. One of the ladies who taught most of us in our friend group how to run trials. She always came in here because she thought there'd be a piece of furniture or something one of these times, but I don't think it ever happened.
Yeah.
All right, so this one is pretty much just like before. We're gonna go run here into the center. You're gonna taunt them, the melee and the ranged ones, and then go left to the vents. On tanks.
You die.
Alright. So then we're gonna... Oops. Don't do what I just did. Alright, so when you run down here, if you touch the water, it starts to drain your speed, drain your resources, and eventually it'll kill you. So the whole goal for us is to not jump into water. The tanks, you can actually run across like this edge is over here. And so one of you is going to taunt the ad, and then you're going to run up the ramp, so the boss follows you up the ramp. DPS, we just want to stay behind that robot as he runs up the ramp and then kill it. On tanks.
Okay, so there's a... Okay.
Yeah, there's a pathway on either side, but the left side's a
Yeah,
little bit better.
Yep.
Alright. On Cleo.
3, 2, 1.
So just taunt and then run right up the ramp. I'm sorry, I should be more clear. I meant the other ramp, but actually this works too.
Bruh.
There are some groups that legitimately do it this way. So that's my fault, I should have clarified. And there's like a little chest over here. Yeah, Cleo, you can do it that way, or you can run up this ramp. It really doesn't matter. The biggest thing is to make sure it's focusing you and not fighting the group. And whoever's picking all of these chests, thank you. Maybe it's Mad Bod with his found lockpick. Alright, so this one, everyone's going to stand right here on the ramp. Okay, that's kind of where I'm at. Alright. So everyone's going to stay on the ramp, and then Cleo and Spider, you're going to run and kind of range taunt them, okay? So you're going to have to run kind of to where the one's kneeling down, and then there'll be like 3 or 4 others that spawn. So you're going to range taunt them, and then you're going to run back here, okay? And once you run back here where I'm at, essentially they're all going to come around the corner because they can't see you, and they'll get back here, they'll see you, and they'll stop. And then we'll be able to just shoot them all in the back.
Where are you? Oh, there you are. Okay, so
Yeah.
I run down here.
No, so you taunt them, and then you run over here, right over here.
Oh,
This
okay,
little-
around this corner. Got it.
Yep, and you just stand here and block, and that way they're kind of, their backs are facing us that are on this ramp.
Got it.
Alright, so you're just on Cleo and Spider. And there should be like 5 or 6 of them, so there may be 2 waves. So just grab as many as you can and then run back this way.
Sounds good. 3, 2, 1.
And don't follow me. Alright. So taunt them all and then run into the corner. Let's see how they're all kind of now facing us, and then we can just shoot them in the back. Oh, I don't know where that one went. That's okay. There he goes. Alright, perfect. I never quite understood why they had this laser here.
Just I knew.
There's a chest and a heavy sack.
We have a couple of people in this group who like to pick locks.
Good.
I'm late. Official.
So this one we're going to do a little bit different. So Cleo and Spider are going to come down here. And there's 3 ads. I'll mark them. Alright, so you're going to taunt the 3 of them, and then you're going to run up here. Right here.
Okay. Which ones
And
do you want to get, Cleo?
I'll take the left 2.
Okay. Get the
3,
dissector.
2, 1.
And DPS, we're just going to essentially hit them, and they should roughly run past us. And then go up the hill and stack. Just like that. And we shoot them in the back. Oh no! And then we just get the ranged one. So Spider, with the if you grab the ranged one, you might need to go like over
A little
here.
further.
Yeah, just
Okay.
because he's annoying.
Yeah, they don't like to move.
Nah, I mean it doesn't really matter honestly, as long as the ranged ones don't do that much damage compared to like the melee. Alright, so this one is very similar. You're going to go up here, and there's going to be 3 enemies. You're essentially going to taunt the 2 melee ones on the right, and then pull it to the left onto the ranged one. And just try not to run any deeper, because there's a second wave that's going to come immediately.
Okay.
I'll grab the 2 melee.
Okay.
3, 2, 1.
Yep, just grab the melee and then stack them on the ranged. Let's all stand here. And so you're going to see there's 3 behind you. You're going to grab those and run to the side of the vent. Grab them and run to the side of the vent.
Over here?
Yep, right over there. Perfect. If they even live that long. Perfect. And there's a heavy chest and 2 chests and 1 heavy sack.
Boss time. I think. Oh yeah, this guy's dope.
Alright, cool. So we're going to go into this, and this is our final
About
boss.
to be cooking. He's cooking.
We have some couple mechanics to cover here. And then we'll be out of here. So this is the final boss. It is the Assembly General. It's a giant robot. And there's a couple of things we have to cover for the execute phase, alright? So we're going to come out here to the center part, and this is a big part of this fight. Alright, so the biggest thing with this fight, alright, is we need to there's 4 corners here, and we need to have 2 DPS on each corner. It doesn't matter which one you pick, just pick a corner, and then stack right on the end. 2 people right on top of each other. Alright, so all the DPS come and pick a spot. Alright, we got 1 more DPS. Who's that back there? Rasa. Rasa, you're here with me. Right here. Alright, so remember this spot, okay? And you want to be right on the edge, okay? Because when we get to execute, the giant robot is going to come. He's going to kneel down right here in the center and then shoot a bunch of rockets up in the air, alright? And those rockets will typically land on the tanks and the healers, okay? And they're going to land in these general areas around us. And if we're on the little edge right here at the tip, we should not get those rockets, okay? It would do very little damage, alright? And then the big thing with the tanks and the healers is they need to be standing apart from each other.
Sorry, your mic's misbehaving a smidge.
But it is?
It was cutting out just a little
Oh,
bit.
okay. Can you hear me now better?
Yes.
Okay. Babu, you'll be here. Across from Madmon.
Yo, look
Yep,
at
and then
him.
the 2 tanks will be across. So you want to stand kind of, if you look at behind you, there's like a little half circle. It's kind of your back foot touching the half circle. That's how far you want to be back.
Okay.
And that way, when the big AoE hits you, it should not land on the DPS. So just the back foot on the right where I'm at. And through this, you're really just going to keep things taunted. You're going to do a lot of damage. If you have elemental blockade, that puts a projectile shield, which will protect all the DPS throughout the final fight. So a lot of times, honestly, the tanks and the healers are just going to sit here and overly spam elemental blockade like this. But you want to have an ice staff on, because that ice staff will do the projectile damage.
Okay.
Alright. Other than that, this is our execute. So all the DPS remembers where they are. And this is where we go, alright? I'm just marking my spot. If you have something like Elm's markers, you can actually put a mark here. If not, you can actually go, if you hit M, you can look at where you are on the map, and you can make a mark on your map. Alright, so that's where we go and execute. During most of the fight, though, we're going to be over here to the right side of the robot. So everybody can just come over here and stand here. So, over there where his right arm is, glows fire, and we're going to be pretty much standing right next to the arm. The fire doesn't actually cause that much damage. It's actually pretty easy for the healers. So the big thing is, first of all, to stay stacked next to the right arm. And we're going to damage the boss and keep fighting the boss. Throughout the fight, one of the arms will fall off, then the second arm will fall off, and then the boss will walk towards the center, okay? When he's in the center, we have to jump down into the pit. If you look kind of to your left, we'll kind of jump down to the pit right here. You want to be on the track, okay? There'll be whirling blades on this track, all right? And that seems dangerous, but on the edges, there's steam and gas that will kill you. So although we take a lot of damage here on the track from the whirling blades, the healers can keep us alive. If you're over here, it's a high likelihood you'll die. Right here, there's going to be a little robot terminal that pops up, and we have to destroy this terminal. Once we kill the terminal, we'll run to the next one and kill the next terminal. You have to kill at least 2 terminals each time, okay? There's really not a whole lot of value of killing more than 2 terminals. Alright, and then once we kill the terminals, we kind of wait, and then the robot will walk to a side, and we find whatever side is his right side, we go up there and we do it again. We do that 4 times, and then it goes to execute, okay? Each time that we knock off an arm, there's going to be some adds. So Spider, you're going to be over here, and you're essentially going to grab these adds and just face them away from the group, alright?
Okay.
When the adds are up, we focus the adds. When the adds are down, we focus the boss robot, okay? For some reason, if we push the boss too quickly and the adds spawn, you just drop down into the pit, and the adds will follow you, Spider. We'll kill them when we're down there.
Okay.
When the boss is in the center kneeling down, while we have those terminals up, guys, do not attack the boss, or it will do damage to you, okay? So no damage on the boss when he's in the center kneeling, unless we're in execute. Other than that, that's the highlights for the DPS. For the tank, Cleo, you're going to be down here in the pit, okay? You have to be keep taunt on the boss, or he'll do a big hop and damage us. You'll see his left foot there is right there, and then right there, right in the track, there's 2 lines in front of us. You want to be pretty much standing right around that second line from straight ahead of us, and you'll keep taunt. Occasionally, he'll do something called Titanic Cleave, where he reaches back with his right hand and punches you out here in the middle. And you need to get back to him as quick as possible so he doesn't jump. If he jumps 3 times, it kills us all, okay? If he does punch that, the best way to get close is to do something like Shield Charge, if you have that skill. If you don't, it's okay. Just run in there. He may jump once, and we'll make the best of it. But if you have Shield Charge, you can Shield Charge to close the gap. Other than that, that's pretty much the whole fight. And we can kind of go through it slowly, and you'll see each phase. And I'll cut the arm over here.
We'll tear his arm off.
So everybody can just start up on the right circle, and you're going to run to where the right arm is as soon as we start the fight.
So right here is where I want to be?
Yep, they're right there. Just be careful you don't pull the
Okay.
boss, but yeah, practically right there. If you stand too far back, then you'll be out of his range of detecting you, and he'll do the jumps. If you stand too close, sometimes he gets fooled, and it does the jumps anyway, so right around that line. But other than that, we should be good. Cleo, on you.
3, 2, 1.
Alright, so everybody's going to run to the right arm. Yep. And I'm over here to kite that arm, so that little spinny arm is not on you, Cleo. And you just kind of got to keep lock up.
Oh.
Alright, one arm's down. Alright, everyone focus the ads. Spider, there's an ad behind you. Oh, they're going down. So we're going to drop down in the pit. Drop down in the pit. And no damage on the boss. We're going to stand over here. It's okay. It's ranged. So we're going to fight the terminal right here. Destroy the terminal. That's the priority. Alright, now stay in the center, everyone.
Oh, sorry.
Good job. No, you're good. Now we're going to run to the right. And do not cut the corners. Run to the right over here. We're going to destroy this other terminal. I'll get you, Spider. Alright, once the terminal's dead, you just
It's the
stand there.
platform that killed me.
Oh, it's electrified.
Yeah, it's
over there.
electrified.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that happened.
I didn't get you. That's alright, we'll get you in a second. Alright, just wait till the robot starts walking, and then we're going to go to its right side. Rin, can you come over here and res me, at least in the pit?
Let's see where they're down.
And he's going to start walking. If we take a little bit of damage, that damage is dependent on how many terminals we kill. Alright, I'll get her up. Actually, you can get it. So everyone, no, we're going to go to the right side of the robot over here, alright? Everyone go to the right arm, just like we did before. So we have to watch which way that he walks to know which way to go. We can take this fight very slow if we want. There's no reason to kind of rush it. Alright, one arm's down. No damage on boss. No damage on boss. No damage on boss. Fight the ads. It's okay. The boss is walking, so we have to jump down. So jump down into the pit, everybody. And we're going to focus on the terminal that pops up. Alright, the terminal's up. Focus the terminal. Alright, now we're going to go to the right again. We're going to kill the terminal. Make sure... Alright, so now we just wait. No damage needs to be done onto the boss. We just stay here in the heels of our healers. And we have to watch which way the robot walks. And we make sure we're going to want to be on the right arm again. Hopefully he walks towards us. So if you damage him right now, he'll shoot one of those rockets on you. Essentially returns whatever damage you put on him onto you. So that's why we always want to avoid hitting him by accident. Alright, he's walking. He's walking towards us, so you guys are going to go left. Go left. Then we go back to that arm. We just do this 2 more times and we're done. As soon as you see an arm fall off, we can pretty much stop all DPS. Alright, now stop all DPS. And focus the ads. Oh, he's walking, so we'll jump down. It's so hard not to push him on normal.
Bypassing my alteration.
That's okay.
The secondary console now.
Focus the terminal, that's the priority. Alright, we're going to go right. Alright. And you can kill this if you shoot away from the big robot in the center. And now we just wait. So after this next time, when the robot walks, alright, we're going to have to go to our execute positions. So hopefully you remember kind of where you were standing earlier. We don't want to overly stack on each other, because we'll all take more damage that way. Walking. Alright, so you guys can go to the right, go up this ramp, because you want to be on his right arm.
Oh shit. What a fool I was.
So the spinning thing's probably going to be on you. But I'm not quick enough. Yep. It tried to do a lot of heals. It's gonna, if you block it, it hurts your stamina really bad. Alright. Pretty much just start light attacking the boss. Just start light attacking. No skills. Alright, now attack the ads that popped up. You can. Oh, he's walking. It is what it is. Alright, go to your execute position. Go to your execute position. Tanks, just try to keep the ads taunted.
I'm.
Do your best you can. Yeah,
okay.
it's annoying. Alright.
Attack it.
Big damage in the center. And if you're support, just spam that elemental blockade, ice staff,
Oh, lagging all
and
crazy.
boss is dead.
What is the deal? Trying to do my ultimate forever.
Alright, that is the final boss. If you loot him, you should be able to, what is it, dwarven repair parts that are actually worth a decent amount of money.
Let me see.
And if you, I know we'll have a bunch of gear to share if anybody wants it. Maybe I'm wrong, Rin. Maybe you don't get them on normal.
I don't know.
You should get.
Yeah, you do.
Okay.
You do.
Okay, good. All right. I was about to feel bad. And don't forget there is some heavy sacks and maybe some chests in here. Just heavy sacks.
Really a heavy sack.
Oh,
Yeah.
I will open a portal from here.
2 heavy sacks.
Yeah, I think on vet there's also 2 chests typically. But, you know, it's still good. Lots of gear in there. Any of the gear in chat you guys want from Mad Mama, Rin, just let us know. We have, I think, all the gear in here, so want to get you guys as much as you can. Thank you for coming. If you have any questions or anything was unclear, please feel free to ask. I don't do a lot of raid leading here, and so if I missed something, I apologize. A sword, huh?
Those?
Yeah.
Whoops. Did you not accept it?
Maybe.
Thank you. Let me try again. Thanks, Trip.
Yeah.
Well, that's that. That is that. Went all right. Went all right.